All right, hi Sam.
Hey, how's it going?
So you're a computer science major from UIUC.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you first got involved with the project.
Yeah, so my friend Linus and I mean, we go way back, like freshman year. We were we lived like a room apart from each other.
Yep.
And so we've been hanging out, and he was friends with Dan, and I met him, who's now our team lead. And so they convinced me, oh, we need a programmer to like do stuff for us, and I was like, I can do that. And then when they told me that they wanted to use Vision to like find angles and stuff, I was like, oh, that sounds great, because I'm gonna take a Vision course, and I'm really interested in that stuff. I've done a lot of hackathons with that. So then I started out just responsible for one small portion of the project, which was getting an angle from Vision. But then I mean, as the project wore on, they began putting more tasks on me, mostly because a lot of the things they were trying to do, I don't know, like they made a lot of assumptions that weren't exactly correct for, you know, parameters of the program. Like they assumed that we could always have the velocity when they really should have been using something else for that. So in the end, I ended up doing a lot of general purpose programming. I did, you know, threads for receiving videos. I did, you know, sockets programming and Vision. So overall, it was just mostly I was responsible for all the code stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So when was that? When did you get involved? Like 12 months ago or so?
Yeah, I think it was first semester last year. It was in the fall. Actually, I think I got involved like when we went out to like a bar or something. We were like, oh hey, you should do this. I'm like, okay. And then when I go home, like they texted me and sent me emails. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it was awesome for us.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part? I think it was communication, because when...
What do you mean by between the quadricopter and the laptop?
I mean between teammates.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, and the between parts was hard too, because each teammate was responsible for a different piece, and all the pieces were kind of moving, and none of them were really like synchronized, and they weren't using version control at first, so there was disparate like things of code, and they were emailing code to each other. So then I took it upon myself to set up a workflow of some sort where we have Git, everyone commits to it, and I was pretty much single-handedly like resolving conflicts all over because nobody knew how to use Git correctly yet, and they've gotten a lot better since.
Okay, okay. So tell me about then the lead up to the flight days.
Yeah.
The team kind of went up and down emotionally.
It did.
So tell me a bit about that.
Sure. So what happened was we did a good amount of work. We built the box, built the hardware, and we had this preliminary idea of how the software would go. Yeah. But then a lot of our assumptions were turned on their head when we actually started testing it.
Okay.
So we had to rethink how we were building the mount. And we had to make a lot of last-minute hardware changes. So that resulted in our trip here in Texas. We spent a lot of time at hardware stores. Like we would go to 4 different stores looking for one part that we really needed. And overall, I think we pulled through.
What hardware part were you searching for?
We were looking for eyeballs, and then we were looking for linear bearings, and nobody had linear bearings. So we ended up just using what we had before with duct tape. We fixed a lot of things with duct tape.
Great.
So, from what I hear, that's very similar to what NASA does in spaceships. You know, it's broken. Time to use some duct tape.
Okay. And so, where was the team before the first flight?
Before the first flight, we had a non-functional control. We didn't really have a controller, and because the PID stuff wasn't working correctly, and so the guys who were flying on the first night, plus the guys who weren't, we all kind of stayed up and only slept, 3-4 hours. I think one person only slept 2. Alejandro, trying to get the controller to work, and then when they went up, it really didn't work. But then, so the night after, we actually went home kind of early. It was like mid-afternoon, and we worked through, pretty decent hours. And we got enough sleep, and today was more successful because of that.
Great. So, were you nervous about today's flight?
Kind of. I was mainly nervous about it not working, and it performed better than I expected. Like I expected it kind of not to work at all. But yeah, we made a lot of progress with the controller. I think if we had one more flight, it would work a lot better.
So what personally are you going to be taking away from this whole experience?
Yeah, well, it definitely refreshed me in a lot of things like threading in C and stuff. I don't write that much C normally. Like I'm interested in, now that I know, like when you apply vision algorithms, they tend to be slow, and it doesn't seem very slow when you're coding them for a school project. Like, oh, half a second, that doesn't seem very slow. But when you need latency of like 100 millisecond latency, then it's a new game. And so I'm inspired to like look at faster ways to implement some of these cool vision algorithms I've been studying and learning.
And what else would you would you say you've learned from the whole experience?
Oh, yeah, like how to manage a team, how to motivate people when the hour's getting late. Yeah, definitely, like, I think we all had a hand in that, and that was good. I think friendships, take those away.
So what would you say now to, say, incoming freshmen or people thinking of studying computer science or entering the engineering program at UIUC? What advice might you have for them?
Yeah, I'd say, you know, find opportunities like this. This is kind of out there. It's you have to look to find these things because people aren't really like broadly advertising them. So if I was a freshman, I would, you know, actively like make friends with a lot of current CS majors and see like cool projects they're doing, things they got involved with. Because you're only going to hear about a lot of these things through word of mouth. Also, I would say do these early, like, because if I was a junior when I did this, then I would have the opportunity to come back next year and refine the project further. But since I only started kind of late, like, you know, I didn't have the opportunity, so that's the way.
Great. Right. Any other comments?
It's really fun. Zero gravity is kind of awesome, and I hope next year we have a team that comes back. That'd be great.
What was the zero gravity experience like for you?
It was unsettling. It was really fun, but like I felt toward the end I was starting to feel a little sick because there's just so much uptime. Completely not what I expected. Like, everyone has their own impression until you actually do it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.